Good morning, students. I'm sure you must have seen the marks being displayed in each and every subject on the school website. If you have done well, that's good. If you haven't, please wake up and try to attempt all the assignments that is being given to you. Today, I would like to start with water cycle. What is water cycle? The cyclic movement of water from the atmosphere to the earth and back to the atmosphere through various processes is called as water cycle or hydrologic cycle. Now there are a number of physical processes involved. For instance, evaporation, transpiration, condensation, precipitation, and surface runoff. Now, first and foremost, what do you understand by the term evaporation? The water present on the surface of oceans evaporates by the sun's heat. The process of conversion of water from liquid state to vapor state is called evaporation. Evaporation also takes place from wet clothes, fields, ponds, lakes, and rivers. Now, you might have seen rivers and the water that flows through the rivers. The process of evaporation takes place there. Evaporation of what? Water. It changes from liquid state to gaseous state, that is into vapor state. Now, evaporation takes place not at a particular temperature like boiling point. What do you understand by the term transpiration? Now, transpiration is a term associated with green plants. Plants take in water from the soil to prepare their own food and also for other life processes. They release excess water into air in the form of water vapor by the process of transpiration, meaning transpiration is a process in which the green plants absorb water from the soil by the roots, and the excess water is being lost by the aerial parts of the plant to the atmosphere in the form of water vapor. And what do you call that process? Transpiration. Condensation. What do you understand by the term condensation? The evaporated water is carried away by warm air. As the warm air moves higher from the surface of the earth, it starts to cool down. This water vapor condenses to form tiny water droplets which float in air to form clouds or fog. And this process is called condensation. Next is precipitation. What do you understand by the term precipitation? All these droplets collect to form bigger drops of water. Bigger water drops come down as rain by the process of precipitation. If the air is too cold, the water drops can become snow or hail and may settle on the top of a mountain. When these snow or hail melts, they can become part of a river or a stream. So by the process of precipitation, these smaller droplets of water, it turns into a bigger water droplet, right? And then by the process of precipitation, you know that as the air rises, the temperature is also cooler. So due to cold conditions, the water drops, it can become snow or hail, which may fall or settle on top of the mountains. Okay, and as and when the temperature rises, it starts melting and it flows into the river or a stream. Now the next is surface runoff. What do you understand by the term surface runoff? Some amount of rainwater is absorbed by the soil and settles down as groundwater. Most of the rainwater flows down the hills and mountains to collect into rivers, lakes, or streams. Rain also washes away the topmost layer of the soil into water bodies. The circulation of water through all these different factors is called water cycle. Now, water cycle, if you look at the diagram that is given there, okay, you see there clouds are there, okay. Now, hills or the mountains, then you see they are showing surface runoff, they are showing groundwater, then collection into the rivers, and finally it enters the sea, ocean, lakes, etc. So by the process of evaporation, clouds are formed, and then what happens due to transpiration? Condensation takes place and it comes to the surface of the hills, okay, uh, into water droplets. And because of precipitation, snow will form and finally it will melt and flow into the river, right, and the streams also. So this is water cycle. In nature it involves a number of processes like condensation, precipitation, etc., evaporation. Now, let us discuss conditions affecting the formation of solution. What are those conditions or the factors that affect the formation of solution? Firstly, nature of solute and solvent. The solubility of a solute in a solvent depends on the chemical nature of both. For instance, let's take sugar cubes, okay. You drop let's say a teaspoonful of sugar in water. So sugar is the solute and solvent is water. When you stir it, what happens? It turns into a sugar solution. So it depends on the nature of the solute and the solvent. Next is shaking or stirring. If you continuously shake or stir the solute particles, okay, it dissolves faster in the solvent. Next factor is heating. The solubility of most substances in water increases with increase in temperature. That means more of solute can be dissolved in a given solvent on heating. That means when the temperature rises. Sugar dissolves faster in hot water rather than cold water. Size of the solute particles. The solute should be in the form of a fine powder, which again help in quick dissolution. That means if the solute particles are fine powder, okay, they are very small in size, it will quickly dissolve in the solvent. Next is importance of dissolved gases in water. What are the importance of dissolved gases in water? The dissolution of a gas in water depends on the interaction between the molecules of the gas and the water molecules. The importance of dissolved gases in water are as follows. It provides oxygen for respiration to aquatic plants. Those plants that are present, that are found in the water, maybe river, lake, or sea, ocean, etc. It needs oxygen for respiration. Next is it provides carbon dioxide to aquatic plants to make their food by the process of photosynthesis. Now, carbon dioxide gas, which is dissolved in water, is needed by the aquatic plants for the process of photosynthesis. By the process of photosynthesis, these green plants living in water, they manufacture their own food. Lastly, carbon dioxide dissolved in water also helps marine animals to form hard shells around themselves for their protections. You might have seen oysters, okay, right? And there are so many creatures that are living in the sea that are very rich in calcareous, what you call seashells. So carbon dioxide, when it gets dissolved in water, it helps marine animals to form hard shells. That's the end of today's lesson. Please revise it once more.